Brothers, sisters, let us now speak of the Asuras in the Hindu spiritual system. Now, the Asuras are those beings who covet the baser nature of reality, of this world, and throughout the multiverse. They covet and seek to gain that which is on the surface, but not the essence of that which is on the surface. Let me explain. The Asuras are often described as those who mine deep, finding great wealth in the earth, and seeking to gain gold, seeking to gain different metals, and trying to dig those up for their value. This can compare to our own internal nature. Now, when we look at our own mind, a lot of the time, people will delve into their subconscious. They will go to the root of their desires in order to satisfy them, and go deep within the mind to the subconscious in order to use it to materialistic ends. This is exactly the principle of the Asuras. They dig deep within the mind. They find things that they can use, their internal nature, in a way that gives them external realization of their desires, external accomplishment that stays in the external. They are not beings who dig deep in order to find the essence of who we are. They are beings who are more interested in what they can buy in the world with it, or what they can trade in a multiverse scenario with those. I'm not just saying gold or precious metals, though that's what it's often compared to, but using the depth of the mind to a materialistic end. What they fail to realize is that they value the form, but they do not value that which sees the form in us. They do not value within themselves or try to look for that which views the form, that views the form of our mind, that is at the heart of mind. Instead, they are satisfied with the subconscious around it. Think of this analogy. At the core, we have the soul. On the exterior, we have the subconscious, the deeper parts of the mind. And do not think that the subconscious is impotent. That's where a lot of magic and occult practices come from, digging into the subconscious of the mind and using the magic of that area, that understanding we have in our relationship between our subconscious and everyone else's, and even the universe. When people read minds, they're digging into people's subconscious and pulling out the bits that they're looking for. For a lot of people who can read minds, they're examining other people's minds as if it was a library, and they just pick out the parts that they want to look at. And it's really that simple. If you develop skill in that area, and I just have barely any skill in that area because I don't care about that area. I am concerned with that which views the form, not the form itself. And, in this world, a lot of the time, we see even a lesser reality of the Asura nature. We see people who value just the body. We see people who just value the external beauty of a person. This is, in a lot of cases, you could say it's even worse than the Asuras, because at least they're using the magic of the subconscious. And, of course, as above, so below, so they still have the same makeup comparable to our own. And the gods, in a way, have a comparable makeup mentally, but theirs is just vaster. But in this world, people who are obsessed with just the body and not even the value of the mind that they can work with somebody through, or even pull out of somebody, those people are kind of worse than Asuras. And that's the state of society that we find ourselves in. But getting back to the gods, there's Asuras, and then of course the gods. Their realm and their level of authority is based around their functions in the multiverse. Indra, he is a god of earthly consciousness. Literally, he's the god of rain, the skies, thunder, and storm. But this also translates to him being a god of the consciousness the consciousness field that exists around the earth, and we're all a part of that. And once again, if you're delving into the subconscious, and you delve into that field, just like the gods have ready access to, then you can gain great power. But it is not about the consciousness. It is about what views the consciousness in a way. The deeper consciousness. There is an infinity within all of us. We just have to dive deeper than the Asuras, dive deeper than people in society. And once we reach that infinity, we start to realize that all of creation, everything is a part of us. And it's not just something to be used, it's something to be experienced, to be realized. Realization through experience and understanding is what the Asuras cannot do or will not do. And in Hindu mythology, and this is true to a certain degree, the Asuras were given the earth in a way that they were supposed to be its guardians, and they started to covet it and desired that. And we see stories like this, throughout even the Abrahamic traditions. In a way, the angels that fell started to covet the earth, and they started to mate with human beings. There's some literal aspects of that, and there's some metaphysical aspects of that. But there are multiple levels of understanding for all of these things. And the Asuras are beings that most of us will not come into contact with, but their tragedy is something that we should understand, because though they were given the guardianship of this world, they chose instead to try and possess this world. And that's when they lost their authority. By decision. Not by appointment, but by decision. And you can compare the Asuras to the Titans in Greek mythology, or the Jotun in Norse mythology. But it's always this idea of valuing the exterior. And that's what we have to work away from if we're to advance as a society. So the Asuras and the mind are very much connected, but only to the subconscious level, only to that magical current just beneath the waking consciousness, the very awareness of consciousness that most people have just on the surface. They know how to dig for the magic, but they don't know how to dig deeper than that. For that, we need the gods' help, and we need the source's help. But anyway, I've gone on for long enough. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video is interesting. This has been a video regarding Hinduism and Asuras and mind. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, shoot it down in the comment section below. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you like my videos on YouTube and you want to support me, feel free to donate as little as $1 a month on www.patreon.com/darkrealist. Capital D, capital R. Just ask for $1 a month. You get extra writings that I do, and you get a few videos that do not appear on YouTube, as well as my YouTube videos that you get notified for every time, because I always post them on Patreon. So please go to my Patreon account and feel free to donate $1 a month, though I'd love to have more. Thank you very much, and all of you, have a great day.